decided that we design the solution that suits us. And that solution is that everything we do, since they make our country and our land very uncomfortable for us, we will bring our freedom from diaspora. And that's what we're doing today. So the enabling environment that was not created for us in Biafra land, the different countries where we reside have created an environment, and we are struggling to bring this kind of system back to our people for them to live like human beings. So we will always outsmart the terrorist state of Nigeria.
Only one, under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa. And we can pray. Once he has that communication, Biafrans, we understand that Obato Obie does not take no crap from nobody. No matter who you are, you must respect that authority. That authority is the only thing that can protect all of us. But we thank God, somebody said this is a transition period. If these things does not happen, Biafrans will not know who is following our prime minister, who wants him to fail, who wants him to be out. So this moment is ordained to happen so that Biafrans will know who is who.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing program. Thank you so much for joining us once again on this platform. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. Please like and share this program. And remember, this platform where you are watching this program is Biafra Exodus Hard Talk TV, a platform that stands with the United States of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the control of Deputy Prime Minister, COS, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. We bring information from the right source, the United States of Biafra, the government of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama to like and share. Information is power. Remember, our Prime Minister encouraged us to engage in radical evangelism. Our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us to carry everybody along. In doing that, you must help us to share this video. Like and share to family and friends and to every platform where you belong. This information is
with the CDS. This gentleman, officer and general, does not cease to amaze me. Because he did not only accept to come here, but he did so in writing. He acknowledged and he did so in writing. He's a great team player. In all my years in service, I've never seen a team player like General Musa. Thank you very much. Thank you for all you do. And I'll tell you a story about the former US President, George Bush. He had gone to campaign in Florida for a second term. And a 10-year-old girl walked up to him and said, when I grow up, I want to be a president just like you. But she said, at this moment, tell me what a 10-year-old can do to help your administration. And President Bush said, anytime you see an American in uniform, say thank you to him. Because every day they lay down their lives for us. General Musa, please say thank you to our troops for laying down their lives for us. But as much as I like General Musa, he underrated me. You know, I have spent 35 years in this job. But for political appointment, I should be on my way out by April. And all I've learned is covertness. how to do things covertly. So, General Musa, you made a mistake with me. When we invited you for this program to be the chairman, you now decided to go and apply for Canadian visa. So we covertly made sure we denied you. So, my dear General, next time when you hear of DSS, and under a leadership like mine, who has swag in doing the job, don't underrate us. So when you live here, you can see me, you get your Canadians. We wanted you to be here, so you couldn't have been in Vancouver. Speaking seriously about the practical approach to mobilizing to curb insecurity, I'll share experience with you when I was state director in Bauchi. Most of you will remember an incident in Azari. A group of terrorists, the Boko Haram, then had invaded Azari. They were shooting in an attempt to kidnap, and the community chased them. They killed some members of the community, but the community members killed all of them. The last guy, Khalid, climbed onto a tree and was firing. The community stood, they were resilient, and they killed Khalid. Since that day, there has not been one terrorist attack in Azari. As a matter of fact, the former head of state, General Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida, said, and I quote, "If we want to stop or curb this terrorism, we shall emulate the Azari example." Tafawa Balewa also happened to be a local government in Bauchi that was always in flames. And the people of Bogoro and some part of Tafawa Balewa, where the Sayawas are, rose up on one occasion. They knew their terrain better, climbed onto trees and mountains. And when the invaders came, they did not only repel them, they seized their weapons. And since then, you can attest to it that you hardly hear about Tafawa Balewa again. What I'm trying to say, the practical approach to mobilizing people, is that you have to get everyone involved. You do not expect the Nigerian Army, police, DSS, to protect every Nigerian or every community. It is not going to work. In the US, if you visit someone in the house, you'll be shocked that when the guy hears a police siren, he will just pull his drawer, bring out his gun and keep it. So one of my hosts did that, and I asked him, "Why are you putting gun here?" He said, "Well, if they are chasing someone and he enters my house, I'll shoot him first." And that is the layer we have to start thinking about. How can you create first line of defense? The military, police, and other security agencies are to deal with the bigger ones, the organized ones. But it is impossible for us to deploy it to every community in the country. It is unimaginable that any security agencies that has the resources to do it. So as we live here, we all belong to one community or the other. What we have to start experimenting is how we can make the community to prepare first, if the first line of defense for us. General Wahab said it clearly. And for me, there are 3 takeaways from his lecture. By the way, The general and I were guest speaker at one program in our office, so I'm not surprised that it's dexterity. He has developed some sort of expertise in what he does. But three things for me. He asked us a question. What is our own culture? Our culture is communal. We do things together. Festival together. Ceremonies together. Wedding ceremony, whatever. So why can't we fight some miscreants, some charlatans among us together? The community should say, you cannot come here. This is what Tafawa Balewa has done. If you go to that community to attack them, you'll be sorry for yourself. I challenge anybody to try it. And this is the way we have to do. We have to allow some level of armament for the communities, and they can serve as the first line of defense. Second takeaway from what the general said. All society approach is not the first time we are hearing. But what I'm saying, the way to do it is when we live here, those of us who have some influence, the elites in society, discuss with your communities, come to us, get some sort of approval and guidance, and then we can stop these criminals. You can imagine you call sector, let's say sector 4 or whatever, sector of the army, to come to this community if there's an attack. Before they even arrive there, if they attack another community, what happens? This is what we should take away from here. And lastly, he said something very instructive. By the way, I like Osman. He knows who to give time. Have you seen him around here? He has advised himself. So don't run into trouble like the CDS. Okay, so last thing he said to us, which is quite important, is that we should not make this another talk show. And that's why this is my intervention. That security starts from you. There is nothing that is new. 1870 something, I can't remember. The French Revolution, in the street of Paris, they were beheading people. We've had hijack of plane. We'll forget quickly. We've had the wet ear syndrome. We had so many. There's no Matasini and whatever. There will always be security problem. So when I hear people say this is security in Nigeria, as long as human beings exist, there will be security problem. The issue is the response. We have to take that mentality away. What is the security agencies doing? Who, apart from a tree, knows that they want to come and cut him and remain standing? Only a tree. We have to get the communities to rise and defend themselves first. And the time to start it is now. When you move out from here, I do that every day. I come from a village in Ijebu land, Ogun State, and I talk to my people. I know the level of armament they are entitled to. I know how they organize themselves in quarters. We have 4 quarters. I am using my expertise to guide them. You cannot wait for the military to come and do everything.
Biafra It's a good. I want to is a question. Why is it that the Europeans are afraid of other countries within Africa, may follow up the breakup of Nigeria, and they would want to break up and form their own country? I want you people to ask yourself, why are they thinking like this? Because I have come across a lot of arguments where somebody will say, okay, they want to maintain Nigeria so that, because they are afraid. According to them, during the 1970 Biafra, the issue was that if Biafra, succeeded in breaking away from Nigeria, other African countries will want to follow suit. Now, I ask again, why are they afraid of that? My people, it is not about natural resources. Some people say they are afraid to lose natural resources. It is not afraid to lose natural resources. No. Of course, business is part of it. Business is part of it, which natural resources is also one of the factors. But this is not the issue. The issue here is not about the natural resources. Because anyhow, they are still going to have access to these natural resources. Somehow, they are going to have access to it. But it is not about natural resources. Well, so when natural resources is one compelling factor, but we should go beyond natural resources. It is time we begin to think beyond natural resources. It is not about natural resources. They are afraid of the economic power that will come from Africa when Africa divide along tribal line. Because you see, they know, they are afraid for you to know what they know. So it is not about natural resources. If you are thinking that it is because of natural resources, my brother, somehow you are right, but you are not right completely. You are getting the main point very wrong. The point here is that they are afraid of you adopting the system that made them what they are today. And what is that system? Dividing your country along tribal line. And that is what we want to do. That is exactly the brain we want to bring to Biafra. We want to bring Biafra, and Biafra will be divided along tribal line. That Efik, Ijo, Ichekiri, all these people will be the confederated state of Biafra. You are going to have your own government, your own autonomy, make decision, control your natural resources. If you have 1 trillion ton of whatever you have in your land, you control it. And we are going to have the central government. And it is going to be joint military. The military is going to be like a NATO. If anybody is attacked, the entire Biafra will come. So we are going to have one common defense system. One common defense system. You see, just like this Europe is a little bit different. Europe is, they have countries and all that. And within this country of Europe, there are countries that have autonomy, that have also autonomy within their own countries. Believe me, this is what they don't want us to do. This is what they don't want you to do. The Europeans discover that when they are together as one bunch people with different background, different culture, different language, different understanding, different thinking, things were not working. Things were not working. From 1940, 1930s, 1950s, 1960s, when these countries